And hello. This is a bit of footage of me playing League of Legends. I'm running here as Graves the Outlaw, new champion. He came out, let's see, yesterday. When I recorded this, at least, it was yesterday. And I'm just playing Summoner's Rift with a bunch of random people. And I'm going to be showing some tactics build, or somewhat builds, what I've found to be effective at least, with Graves the Outlaw. And just some overall League of Legends gameplay. I will be doing some more of it in the future, so I hope you'll enjoy. Let's just get this fight actually started though. Let's see, fast forward. We have a Kennen and Jarvan going the bottom lane, which is quite useful, as our... I don't really see why Kennen decided to go with the Doran's shield, but yeah, they are going somewhat tanky from start, getting them some pretty good options of pushing, and well, they can take a bit more of a beating. And I'm fighting here in the middle with against Twisted Fate, which is, well, kind of the yeah, I don't know. It's if lore-ish story thing counts in, then Graves has a grudge on him or something. They're supposed to be fighting anyway, so yeah. And in the top lane we have Katrina and Nunu fighting against a Gangplank and Maokai. So we have Akali and Nasus fighting in the bottom lane. Really, Graves is really good at going in the middle lane because of his what's it called? Passive True Grit, which increases armor and magic resistance every second he remains in combat. And it has a stacking limit up to 10 armor, 10 magic resistance. It doesn't seem that much, but early game it makes a huge difference. I mean, and the buckshot here that you just saw me use is a very powerful shotgun move, more or less. It can hit a single target with multiple of those projectiles if I stand close enough to actually hit with multiple. So the closer you stand, the more damage you're going to do with it, most likely. And thanks to that, he's really good at going in mid because of the extra armor and magic resistance. So he'll take less damage than most, and he still dishes out pretty high damage. Excuse me. And yeah. Let's see. This is the League of Legends replay I'm using, by the way, and Fraps in order this because apparently it doesn't work as well as intended, just yet at least. Which also is why I can't see health bars everywhere, but only at myself, more or less. It only shows health bars and damage, etc. from where my camera is. So it's a bit impractical. It's still a work in progress. It's not entirely done yet. There is issues, they know this, and well, they appreciate any feedback anyone who uses this program could give to how to improve it. But yeah, I'm in the middle lane here. I'm pushing up quite nicely, and I'm not... Graves is really good at taking out entire groups and being able to really get a lot of last hits, as well, at the moment I'm running with 23 and I'm kind of preventing Twisted Fate from getting all that many. He's just at 16 because, well, you're really good at pushing out minions, and with the buckshot ability you can take down almost an entire minion wave in one shot and then just shoot them off with a single to two auto attacks afterwards, and that kind of leaves very little for on their side to defend, which then lets your own minion wave push up against their tower quite nicely. And well, there will be some slight delays on and cooldowns on how this replay is going to work or when I'm watching others at least. It's a bit sad that I can't just, what's it called? For some reason I can't record while I'm playing, so I need to do this replay thing, and I'm not really good at this, because usually I do my commentaries while I'm playing, and it gets more of a live into it feeling. But yeah. And let's see, I'm fairly sure that I'm about to try and take down Twisted Fate, but I fail. Something like that. Yeah, he lives off with 28 health. It's very lucky there. Tried throwing a smoke bomb, or smoke screen. Still didn't work. Let's see. They are trying to push quite nicely down the bottom here as well. And, well, fighting against an Akali can be really annoying. Fighting against the Nasus can be really annoying as well. So fighting against both of them at the same time is quite the pain. But yeah, Kennen can be quite annoying as well, so it kind of evens it out. Or somewhat evens it out at least. Gangplank and Maokai, they have some pretty good harassment options because, well, Gangplank's Parlay, I think the Q ability is called, can crit and he can earn some extra money on it, deals quite a lot of damage, and he can heal himself. And Maokai has the throw sapling, so you can stat at range, throw it in a sapling, then walk back and use it for pretty good harassment. Let's see. When am I? Yeah, it's not in not too long. I'm gonna try to encounter Twisted Fate again. I just don't entirely know when. Let's see. Here we see the sapling in action again. For some reason the explosion didn't feel like being shown. But yeah, Graves is really good for running mid. At the moment their Twisted Fate is sitting at 28 last hits. I'm running at 51 and still counting. So it makes for... He is pretty good because of, just because of that passive. He lets him take so much less damage. I mean, I've been fighting, playing a few games with him as running in mid, and most of the time you don't need to worry about anything for the majority. Doesn't really matter. There's a few champions you need to watch out for, but the majority you don't really need to pay that much attention to, because you are going to be able to soak up a lot more damage than they can dish out. And at the same time, you can, if you get to use a good buckshot, then you'll hit with. If you get to hit with it multiple times on the enemy champion, then they are going to take a really big amount of damage, and that is really good. He's really good for pushing. Yesterday, for instance, I had last night rather. It's not that long time ago. It's a few hours actually. I had a game against a what's he called? Vigar, who, well, he didn't quite do as well as he should have, but it ended up with, within the first 10 minutes, I'd already smashed a tower and we're pushing the next one. When the hell am I going against that Twisted Fate? We're pushing, trying to push quite nicely. It's a bit annoying with the counter that you only see where health from where your own camera is, because, well, I can't see how well they're doing against the other towers either. But our bottom lane had some, apparently got smashed there. Yeah, I might have forgotten about that. And well, now our bottom tower is getting pushed. Let's see. No, not yet. And the top lane is kind of more or less in a stalemate. They're trying to attack, but it doesn't really... They're pushed into more of a defensive position. So they... I believe they get their first kill up here now, but I can't see health bars, so I'm not sure. Yeah, they did. Let's see. Sadly, they also got Nunu down, which is not too good, but still. Yeah. It's probably worth mentioning that I don't usually play ranged characters. I mostly play fighters and, most of all, assassins. So, such as Talon or Lee Sin, stuff like that, Irelia. But yeah, this is more or less just me practicing with using attack damage ranged carries, because I need to practice on that. So, and as Graves is quite new, I figured that, well, I could show how you're supposed to do. And there we got the Twisted Fate down. The ultimate collateral damage is really good for not just harassing group fights and smashing champions with. It's also really good for taking down minion waves, because, well, when it hits something, that cone blast in the back, it pretty much takes out minions as well. So if you get to use it with while it's being, well, the champion is being in front of minions, then you're most likely to take down the minions behind it as well, which gives you a bit of extra income, which is quite nice. And they've been pushing quite nicely down here. Let's see. Smashed the middle tower, and we're still trying to work on taking down the top one, but it's a bit more difficult. Let's see, at this point I go back and I buy the second Doran's Blade, Berserker Greaves, in a second at least. And then I go straight in for a BF sword, because I will be going, once I have the Doran's Blade and Berserker Greaves, I'll be going directly in for a Bloodthirster, because of the, when going mid at least, I'll be going directly in for the Bloodthirster because of the damage difference that the BF sword will do, and the lifesteal is very, very useful. Let's see, believe we take down, yeah, got the Gangplank down here. Sadly, the Twisted Fate gets our Katarina, and I don't really remember if Nunu gets out of that. Let's see. No. Oh, well, apparently you did. That was not entirely expected. I'm coming in here from the side. Yeah. At this point I can pretty much leave the middle free if I want to, because they can't really do all that much about it, and there we go in. For stuff like this, Graves is really good coming in to prevent people from taking an enemy tower, or in Dominion from taking a checkpoint or a control point, or whatever you're supposed to call them, because you can just fire the collateral damage to wipe out majority of the minions and, well, give a good amount of damage to the champion, so they'll have to back out. And then I didn't quite dash in here, but you are supposed to be using quick draw, for instance, to dash in a bit and increase your attack speed quite a lot, and then just follow it up with a buckshot to then make them jump off again. And yeah, here I thought that the top would have it and go at it as they did before, and decided to leave them, and, well, apparently they decided that it was a good idea to charge in and attack, and, well, I wasn't quite around, so they ended up fighting 2 versus 3, and we lost Katarina on that. And yeah, Jarvan took quite a beating as well. Yeah. Let's see. Another really good thing with Graves is the smoke screen. It's not just as a zoning tool, because it's pretty awesome as a zoning tool, because you just dump down this smoke screen, and, well, you pretty much, if the enemy is inside it, they can't see out of it unless you attack them from the outside and in. So you can put it on the enemy. If they don't run out, then you can just waltz up close and then buckshot them. And, well, pretty much give them a nice little surprise. They won't see other champions coming in to help them, or perhaps to help them from their own side on the minimap, but not on the in the actual sites. And they won't be able to see enemies coming in at all. It also deals very low amount of damage, but still, and enemies are slowed within it. And why am I not paying much attention here? Let's see. Maokai is fairly low, or well, they're healing up a bit, but still. Katarina is trying to defend the middle tower. It's doing a very good job at it, and while I'm dashing in here, it's a bit of a weird counter, but yeah. I was not quite expecting this to go as it did, but I got a double kill on that. I almost got Maokai down, and Twisted Fate is quite injured, but I had to back out again because, well, I took quite a beating as well. And down to 19 health, so kind of had to back off. I was very close to being hit there by Twisted Fate. And Cannon goes in for the kill and does not quite make it. So Twisted Fate gets away, but only just. And Maokai had seen better times. At this point we are ahead in pretty much every aspect. We have one more kill than they do, and we have taken down the outer middle turret and bottom turret, while we're still working a bit on the top one, but not as much anymore because we're busy pushing. But they have not taken down any turrets yet at this point. So we are leading on that fashion. We're taking the dragon here. So now we're also dragon ahead, and overall our team is earning a lot more money than they are. And Jarvan is trying to push Gangplank down, or back at least, so that we won't get our turret pushed anymore. But it's not quite working out all that effectively. Yeah, I came up here to help, but Twisted Fate uses his ultimate so he can see everyone with that little red eye on top, so I decided that nah, Gangplank isn't gonna come out, so I'll just back off again. And then it turns out that Nasus comes up as well, and I turn around to come up and help. Yeah, Kali won over Nunu down there. It's not too fortunate, but still, shit happens. And well, it's not too funny to try and fight against Akali. We managed to take down Gangplank, I'm fairly sure. Yes, and I get Nasus down here as well. Exhaust and then prevent him from running away, and then just use True Grit to increase attack speed by 80% for 4 seconds. It makes quite the big difference, especially because you also get that little charge in whatever direction you want to, which then can push you slightly away so that melee needs to run a bit further. It's really good if you, for instance, have a slow on them, if you have the red buff or so. Give them a basic attack and then use True Grit to dash away. You see, we're trying to get it, yeah, getting Maokai as well, and Twisted Fate. Akali is trying to push a bit back in the bottom lane, doing a quite nice job of it also, but still. We're just running a team fight up here, trying to get the last ones, but it doesn't quite work out, so we'll have to push back. We'll pull back a bit. We have Nunu and Jarvan coming up from the middle. Akali is pushing back in the middle now to prevent their tower from taking damage, so that their minions can just push up a bit, while we are initiating a team fight here and trying to take them under their own turret. Which, well, it doesn't always work out, but at the moment we have quite the advantage. Yeah, I was a bit slow on the camera here, so I didn't quite see health bars, but yeah. True Grit is also really good for taking down turrets because of the immense attack speed increase. So you can just use it to dash over to a turret, start attacking, and well, you'll get to burst down a good amount because Graves have quite the high damage output. Even with basic attacks, it's pretty good. And well, when you use True Grit at rank 5 or 80%, then excuse me, then the attack speed is going to be quite immense. It'll reach 1.7, 1.8 or something at this point, without having any. Well, I have Dagger and Berserk Greaves, so I guess it doesn't quite count as without any items to increase attack speed. But still, it's not that big an increase just yet. I mean, for instance, Phantom Dancer would make a giant difference here, and they're trying to go in and to pull a gank. It works out for them. However, they managed to take down 3 of ours. We only managed to take 1 of theirs. And I dash out, seeing that this is a lost cause. I mean, it's not exactly fantastic to try and make a team fight when we're standing in the jungle up here, being trapped by Jarvan from our side's ultimate, the walls, and having a Nasus using his ultimate as well. Plus the 2 others from their team coming in when we are 3 and 1 person, or we were 4 but 1 died instantly. So yeah, it's not exactly fantastic. So we had to pull out of that and going up there. Nasus is trying to push up the top turret, and Akali is trying to push the middle turret because, well, we've been quite far ahead so far. So they need to push some turrets, or else they're not going to have quite the, or good enough an income. Let's see. And yeah, about this time we're going to make a team fight quite soon, I suppose. Yeah, gotta be pushing down here, seeing that there's a decent amount of them in the middle, so we're starting to push up towards it and trying to come in from different sides. And yeah, we're closing in a bit, trying to trap them, but yeah, they backed off again. And now Twisted Fate is over here, trying to get our Jarvan, or at least push him back. Now they're going in for the kill on Jarvan. He is, but he has too much health and survivability for that, so that didn't quite work out for them. I'm using the word quite a lot today. Quite. Anyway, pushing them up here, and we get them trapped. Gangplank is by far done for. Collateral damage gives a good AoE damage here, and we pretty much smash their team to the ground. And here they surrender. So, yeah. This is a quick look at how you can choose to play, for instance, Graves. It's not as much of a tutorial as it perhaps should be, but still. I'm not very good at ranged champions, so it was a pretty good game from my side at least, compared to how I do with other ranged attack damage at least. And yeah, that's been it for today, and I'll tune back some other time with some other champions, and we'll play some more League of Legends in the future.